if you want to be able to step out of your business eventually, then you do need to have a team that can take care of your business and run it for you successfully. You really, really, really need to be a really great leader, not just a boss or a business owner, in order to do that. There's just so many people that when they start a business and start hiring staff, there's kind of this way that people think that they have to be, or you think you have to be a certain kind of boss or a certain kind of person when you take on an employee or more than one. And what that leads to is if you don't get it right, if you don't become a good leader from the start, if you just become a boss, then you're going to have staff issues and you're going to be very stressed out. You're probably going to be screwed over by people and like all of those things that happen. I've just written down a couple of columns on what the difference is between a boss and a leader. And I'm just going to run through each one individually. And what I'd like to do is encourage you to just pay attention and just to see which resonates with you mostly now, and to see if there are any things that you can start to let go of if you notice that you are more of the boss type, and if you want to transition more into being a leader. A boss usually has staff issues. If ever I come across anyone in business, any of my clients or in courses, and people are complaining about their team members and complaining about their employees and their staff, it's not because of the staff, it's because of the leadership skills they're lacking. And nobody wants to hear that. It's really difficult to say it to people's face because they go, no, it's not, it's them. They stole from me, or they lied to me, or they aren't coming in, or they're calling in sick all the time, and blah, 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 blah. That's still a leadership issue, because you as the business owner are responsible for everything, including the staff, and including, you hired that person, you've got to train that person, you've got to motivate that person or find out what motivates them, or if they're not right for the job, you've got to let go of them. Like, there's all of these things that you as the business owner are responsible for. And I think one of the best things that I ever learned when I started studying business and coaching and NLP and all of that stuff was you have to take full responsibility for everything in your life, and even that you just can't blame anyone for anything really. And even if someone like a staff member does something shitty in your business, you then have to deal with that. You have to talk to them about it, or fix it, or help it, or find out why it happened, or you have to get rid of them. It's still your responsibility. Find somebody else who is more suited for the role. A leader has a great team. They don't see their employees as staff. They see them as their team members. They see everybody on the same level working together to grow the business. And it is a great team because everybody gets along, everybody respects each other, acknowledges each other, and just has a really great working environment. Is your business now, do you have staff issues, or do you have a great team? Or have you been a part of a great team in another job once and been in a job where you weren't a part of it and you have felt like just a solo little person that had a job to do and that was it? A boss will usually tell people what to do. They give demands. They say, you need to do this, you need to do this, why aren't you doing this, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And nobody likes being told what to do. So that's a surefire way to have your team members not respecting you as the leader. And the difference to that, a leader will ask people what they can do to help. So that's a really, really big difference. Nobody likes being told what to do, but if you can say to someone, hey, can you please help me with this today? We just need to do this, 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 then they will answer yes, and they are committing to it themselves. Whereas if you go, you need to do that, they go, oh, screw you, I don't want to. So that's a massive difference. If you are someone who currently tells people what to do or tells people what they should or shouldn't do, see if you can try asking and said, hey, can you please help with this? Or if there's something that someone isn't doing right, instead of telling them you need to do this right or you're not doing that, which is just, petty cause for arguments. Same thing works in home relationships, by the way, with your partners or family members. Nobody likes that. If you can swap it around, even if they're not doing something right, if you can say, hey, can you please tell me why you didn't do this when I asked you to do it this way? Don't say when I told you to do it this way, because no one likes that either. But asking people why they're not doing something. As an example, when I had my salon, I had a little fountain out the front that was just really pretty, and it had trickling water, and it was just really added to the environment when clients would come over. And it was one of the girls' job to turn that fountain on every day and turn it off at the end of her shift. That was in her job description. And then at one point she stopped doing it, and I didn't say anything the first time. So of course, when you don't say anything the first time, they think they can get away with it, or people think, oh, it doesn't matter that much, so I just won't turn it on anymore. And if I had have gone, hey, I told you have to turn the fountain on, she would have got annoyed at me and resented that and not want to do it anymore. But instead I asked her, can you just tell me why you haven't been turning the fountain on for the last few days? And she was just like, oh, I just forgot, and then I just thought it wasn't that important or whatever. But because she's answered that herself, and then you explain the importance of having it on, because to me it helped with the customer experience of the business, and people liked coming back to sit outside in the waiting area near the fountain. Once she understood that, then she would keep doing it herself. And if the same thing happened again, once again, you just go, hey, why haven't you been doing this? Can you please explain? When you are the boss, like, there's no relationship, there's no trust. People are gonna walk all over you. They don't respect you at all. So yeah, that's one big difference. A boss will tell people what to do, a leader will ask. A boss expects employees to be happy with just getting paid to work. I see this so often in Facebook groups, in other Facebook groups that I'm in. I see people commenting like, oh, shouldn't they just be happy with getting paid? No, nobody, like, money doesn't bring happiness. There's so much more to it than that. And there's just so much more to life, and there's so much more reason to do things. Not everybody just does things for money. If a boss just kind of like expects people to be happy with getting paid, then that staff member, that team member, that person, that human being probably isn't going to be happy with working there for very long, because they don't feel like a valued part of the team. They don't feel appreciated. They're just like, here, you're swapping time for money. That's it. I don't care about you. However, a leader really does understand that there's more to happiness and work than money. And a good leader will try and make sure that their team members are happy in their job roles. So even things like finding out the team members' like personal interests, or their strengths and their weaknesses. I try and give people that work for me roles to do that they enjoy doing. Like, if they really hate doing something, I probably won't make them do it, and I'll get someone else to do that. Like cleaning the salon when I had my shops, nobody likes doing that. I hated doing that, so we hired a cleaner to specifically clean the salon. I'm not going to force people to do things that they resent me for. Ree's really good at video and just getting creative with the editing and stuff, so once I showed her how to do it, it's like, I don't need to micromanage you and tell you what to do. You just like, here, do something cool, get creative, and I think you like it.
I love it.
She loves it. Cool. And same with some of the other girls. So as an example, when I had my salon, still there'd be one girl that loves tanning, and one girl that I trained in both tanning and hair extensions, and one of them was great at tanning and one of them was great at extensions, and they weren't good at the other ones. So I tried to make sure that each of them got to do most of what they were best at and didn't force them to do everything. Once again, same goes for you in your personal life and you as the business owner. Like, if there's something that you really hate or don't want to do, delegate it, and just understand your strengths and where you're best to spend your time, and also your team members. You need to know that, or take an interest in it, find out. A boss will usually see their self as better than, or above than, or more powerful or important than others. And this just comes from living in ego. Some people just feel this way in general in their lives, and so then if they start a business based on ego, then they're just gonna think that they're better than others. I personally believe that no person in the world is better or worse than others. Everybody's just different. And if you can believe and accept that, then it makes life a whole lot easier to deal with. Obviously there's some really bad people that do bad things in the world, but I try not to focus on them. But yeah, I just believe that there's no one that's better or worse than anyone else, depending on how much money or stuff they have. But if you can just see people as who they are, as individuals, and know that everyone's different, then it's fine. A leader sees themselves as a part of the team. So yes, they are the creator of the business. They've created that, and you're also creating jobs for people. You're creating careers for people. You're feeding them. You're feeding their family with the things that you can help them with as the owner of the business, and you can create more jobs and you can help more people. But you also see yourself as a part of that team. You don't see yourself as the god that everybody should bow down to. You appreciate everybody that is a part of your business for actually helping you to get to where you want to go, to make your vision come to life, rather than just like, here's a job, do it. A boss usually will hide things from employees and doesn't involve them in the business or the decisions or the direction of the business. So they just think, I'm going to go behind the scenes and do all this stuff and then tell people what to do, and I'm not really going to involve them in the direction of the company or what's going on. I'm not going to ask them for their input. I'm not going to ask them for their advice or their thoughts. However, a leader is more transparent in the way that, you know, if something's gone wrong, they'll hold a meeting, they get everybody involved, they'll ask people for what their thoughts are and they get their feedback. Other people have good ideas that could help to grow your business and improve their jobs and improve your life and improve the client's experience and whatnot. So if you can be more transparent and let everyone know what's going on, everyone should be on the same page, and then everyone who actually can work together to make something amazing. A boss will blame their staff for problems and is ungrateful for the things they do right. So this is generally someone that is living in the ego and blame mindset, where they look for problems and they focus on things that go wrong and they don't focus on the positives in life, or they don't focus on the things that are actually doing right. Like, yeah, your staff member may have made a mistake that day, but if you dwell on that, then you're just going to see that person in a negative light. Whereas, hey, they showed up for work, they did their job, they made you some money, you know, say thank you, show appreciation for the things that go right. And a leader, as opposed to that, is grateful for each person and the things that they do right. If there is things that are not the way that you want them to be, they will take full responsibility to talk to that person about that and help them to improve. So yeah, it's really all about taking full responsibility for everything in your business and living in gratitude and love and being appreciative of people and what they do. Like, it'll just help to make you a much happier person as well, really. If you want to have a really happy working environment where you can love your business and love your team and have people respect you and appreciate you, then the only way to do that is to first of all love and appreciate others and be a leader. See you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. Bye!